Welcome to the YMCA at San Francisco's Classroom for All. My name is Justin, and today we will be learning about adding and subtracting decimals. So feel free to follow along, or you could just watch and try this activity on your own later. Let's get into it. So to begin, we are going to first look at place value. So what is place value? Place value is this. I'm going to show you. So positive place value, we have our ones spot, so that represents 1 through 9. We have our tens spot, so that's 10 through 99. We have our hundreds, thousands, and so on. So 1, 10, hundreds. When we look at our decimals, we actually have a very similar place value. So if this is 0, this is going to represent our tenths. This is going to represent our hundredths, and this is going to represent our thousandths. So just as we have our ones, tens, hundreds, we have our tens, ones, thousandths in our decimals. So this is a very basic number line, and I could go a lot more into it, but let's go ahead and do some addition problems. I do find that the number line does make a little bit more sense once we start adding. So for our first problem, we are going to do 1.62, or you can say 1 and 62 hundredths. And we're going to subtract. We're going to add 1.2 to it. So 1.2, or we could say 1 and a 20th, all the same. So we have our problem put out on a line. First step, we're going to line up our problems so that we can add stacked up. So what we're going to do is line up our numbers with our decimals. So here's 1.62. We're actually going to put 1.2 with the decimals lined up. So we're going to line up the ones, put the 2 here, and leave this blank. So see how this is blank? What we can do is add a 0 to fill it in. Okay, so now here's our problem. It's just simple addition, just as we do any other problem. 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 plus 6 is going to be 8. Oh, and now we're here at the decimal. So we're not going to add anything, but we're going to move the decimal straight down. 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. Okay, so our answer to 1.62 plus 1.2 is going to be 2.82, or 2 and 82 hundredths. Okay, so from here, let's move on to another addition problem. I do think we should cover this. So it's going to be very similar, but instead of adding 1.2, we're going to add 0.02. So this one's a little bit trickier because we're missing some numbers here. So this is actually 0 and 2 hundredths, and we're going to show you how to do that. So we're going to start by first lining up our problems. So here's our 1.62 on top, and then we're going to place our 0.02 underneath. So how we're going to do this, we're going to line up our decimals. So this 0 lines up with this 1, decimal goes there. We have another 0, and then we can put our 2. So this 2 does not line up with this 1. We actually line up the decimals, and that's how we're going to add. From here, just simple addition. 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. 0 plus 6 is 6. We don't touch the decimals, but we move it down. 0 plus 1 is 1. So 1.62 plus 0.02 is going to equal 1.64, or 1 and 64 hundredths. Okay, so that's how we're going to add our decimals. So let me show you how to subtract our decimals. So let me go ahead and clear our board here and move on to the next problem. Okay, so for our next problem, we're going to have 2.48, and we're going to subtract 1.32. What if we made this a little bit more fun? I'm going to erase our 3 and make it into a 5. Okay. So that's going to cause some issues later down the road, but I'll show you how to fix it. Oh. Wow. Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're going to line up our problems. So first I'm just going to write 2.48. So there's that. And we're going to line up our 1.52 underneath. So 1.52. And then we lined up the decimals. Perfect. So for subtraction, we are just going to subtract the top from the bottom. Simple as that. 8 minus 2 is going to be 6. Ooh, but what's 4 minus 5? We can't do that, so we're going to have to borrow. So cross off the 2, make it a 1, bring over a 10. Okay, so what's 14 minus 5? That is going to be 9. 1 minus 1 is 0. We make sure to bring down our decimal, and our answer is going to be 0.96, or 96 hundredths. Okay. So let's just do one more for the heck of it. And let's go 2.48 minus 72. Okay, so here's here's 2.48 minus 0.72. We're going to first write 2.48, and we're going to line up our decimals and put 0.72 underneath. Okay, and that's just simple subtraction after that. 8 minus 2 is going to be 6. We can't subtract 7 from 4, so we're going to have to borrow. This 2 is going to become a 1. 14 minus 7, 7. We're not going to touch the decimals, just bring it on down. And then 1 minus 0 is 1. So there's our answer, 1.76. And yeah, I think we're going to end it there. So thank you for watching. What we did today, we added and subtracted decimals, and we learned about place value. So yes, please join us at ymca.org/classroomforall for more fun classes, and I'll see you soon.
Did you know that YMCA of San Francisco never closed? When shelter-in-place happened, we could no longer provide in-person programming. We quickly shifted to provide youth and family programming virtually. As early as April, we started providing on-demand activities in our YMCA of San Francisco YouTube channel.
For this video, we're going to be making a geodesic dome.
Today, we're going to be making a hovercraft. The science around this activity is really awesome.
In addition, we have a regular schedule of activities for our youth and families to join live. We feature read-alouds, yoga, family Zumba, arts and crafts, drawing clubs, and more. So don't miss out on our virtual youth and family offerings. Visit www.ymcasf.org for more info and class schedules.